Hill Country Bible Church has had a pretty amazing story. We started in January of 2000, which, if you remember, was Y2K. And right when the world was supposed to end, we thought, what a great time to start a church. So we started meeting not far away from here in Pflugerville Elementary School on Old Hutto Road. And it was a pretty incredible start. On the very first Sunday, I got up to speak for the very first time, was walking up the steps, and that last step was just a touch higher than the other ones, and I tripped and I fell just face down on the floor. And I remember thinking, I'll just spread my hands out like I'm praying, kind of, prostrate on the floor. Lord, we dedicate this church. No, I didn't really do that, but I thought about it. So we got started. Even after a shaky start like that, church started growing pretty quick. We moved to 2 services, and then not long after that, we moved from the elementary school into the Windermere Shopping Center and began growing there as well.
So we were in the Windermere Center, and in 2002, we knew that we were running out of space, and the lease payments were going up, and so we began praying for a new home for ministry. In 2003, we had a capital campaign, and God provided the land, He provided the money and the pledges, and people pledged over 3 years. 2005, we moved into our new home for ministry, and people had given $3 million towards a $5 million project. And then we had a mortgage that made up the difference. And the payment on that mortgage was about the same as our lease payments at the Windermere Center. And so God really blessed us for that time during that season in our ministry. And I think it was really great to see what God did. It was pretty amazing to be here. But now, it's time to pay that debt off.
So in 2005, we got into the building, and it was great. New home for ministry, new base of operations. And as exciting as that was, it was just a means to an end to the great purpose that God had called us to. And so after we moved into the building, we got busy pretty quick in the task of church planting. And so by the time 2007 rolled around, we unveiled what we called North by Northeast, where we planted a church in Hutto Bible Church, and then we also, the same year, like 4 months later, planted a church in Round Rock, which is now goes by the name City View. So we planted both those churches in 1 year and sent over 100 people to each of those churches. And then a couple of years, we did another one. In 2009, we planted Wells Branch Community Church, and we sent out some folks, not as many to that one. And then we also planted a church in 2011, ICB, our Spanish-speaking church. And then more recently, in 2013, we planted Midtown Church down in the Hyde Park area of Austin. And each time you send out really key, committed people. And the weight of all of that was that as we were sending out all these people, we started feeling, I think, the weight of the mortgage a little bit more.
And we felt like the mortgage was really getting in the way of being able to fund the internal ministries of the church. It was really draining ministry dollars, if you will, that we would rather spend on developing fully devoted followers of Christ. And we do that through all of the internal ministries, our men's ministry and our women's ministry, our student ministry and our children's ministry, and especially our small group ministry. And those ministries are just underfunded because of the mortgage right now. So we would love to be able to fund those at a more significant level to better equip us, position us to develop fully devoted followers of Christ.
When we took on the mortgage, it was really helping us accomplish ministry. But now, at this point in time, it felt like, after sending so many people out, that it was a weight getting in the way of some of the dreams that we had, namely to keep pushing forward with church planting. Another big dream that we have is in the area of community compassion. And so, we're all talking about getting to know our neighbors and love where we live, and that's our important baseline strategy for reaching people. But we recognize in our community are all kinds of people that none of us really have connection with. And for those people in our community who have real needs, but who are far away from God, we wanted to put together a strategy of how to reach those people. And so from early in our history, we had a dream of putting together some kind of counseling center or community center, and that's still our dream. And we don't know what form it's going to take or when it might launch, but what we want to do is put together a ministry that would reach out to people offering low to no cost counseling. It would be a base of operation for all of our compassion ministries, and would offer real genuine help to people as well as connect them to God through faith in Jesus Christ. So those were some of the dreams we had. We also were really eager to move forward and expand our global outreach ministry to fund church plant movements in different areas of the world. And we started feeling like some of those dreams were being delayed until we could get this mortgage paid off. And so at that time, the elders got pretty fixed on the idea of getting out from under the mortgage. And, one of the passages that really kind of grabbed our attention was Romans 13:8, which says, "Owe no man anything except to love each other, for the one who loves another fulfills the law." And we started thinking about that and thinking, how great would it be if we as a church were postured in a way that we didn't owe anything but the ongoing debt of loving our community. And with that in mind, we launched a campaign in 2013 called OLO Only. And its primary goal was to pay off our mortgage, pay off our debt. There were a couple of other things too that we were looking at, but primarily we wanted to put our debt to rest. And so we put that in front of our church. Church got behind that. They made pledges over a 3-year period that were just above what we believe we needed to pay off our mortgage. And so we were very excited about that. And now we're a little over 2 years into it. We're down the last stretch, and we feel like, man, we're so close. But in order for us to get over the finish line, we're going to need everyone who made pledges to persevere in their giving. We're going to need people who are new to the church, or perhaps people who were here but did not participate early on, to come on board and basically say, "Count me in," to help us get over the finish line. We believe that paying off this mortgage this summer is huge. Otherwise, it will continue to delay our ministry dreams as well as drain our ministry dollars. So would you join all of us, and basically with one voice together, we say, "Count me in. Let's finish OLO Only."